Good evening.
First of all, thank you very much for accepting the invite. I'm really excited to go forward with this conversation because I've always been interested with spirituality and its relation with personal development. So, for all the audience here, before I begin delve deep into this, I will just give a brief about Swamiji. Most of you all might know, but for the greater benefit of all, I would just like to introduce Swamiji. So, Prashant Rajore Ji is a graduate of chemical engineering from IIT Bombay. He's been closely associated with His Holiness Sri Sri Ravi Shankar for over 20 years now, and he's a senior faculty of the art of living and conducts advanced courses on yoga meditation, which has been attended by thousands of people from big corporations to the remotest of areas who have experienced great joy and peace. He's also done a lot of innumerable service projects on rural development, women empowerment, and rehabilitation programs as well in prisons, and he is even the manager of the Bangalore International Ashram. Swamiji, welcome aboard. Thank you for accepting the invite. And anything, if I apologize if I've missed out anything from your introduction.
No, in fact, you have given a little extra introduction, but that's fine. It's
Okay,
good.
okay,
Nice talking to you, Nimish. And I'm looking forward to this conversation.
okay. So, talking about spirituality, a lot of people have different interpretations of spirituality. For example, if you ask my grandfather about what spirituality means to him, the definition of spirituality for him is different, and for me is different. So, for all the corporate folks here, majorly for the corporate folks, the youth of India, what should spirituality mean to them, and where should they start from?
Yeah, there is nothing to start from. We are all on the spiritual path. Mm.
Okay.
See, every single human being on this planet, they are searching for something called happiness. Mm. And the search for happiness is the beginning of spirituality. Okay.
Okay.
Now, some people think that money will give them happiness. Money gives happiness. It's not that money does not give happiness, but money has a limitation. After some time, that money does not give you that depth of happiness. And people seek it in relations, people seek it in position, power, fame. Hmm. And after going through all that, and we recognize that there is still a sense of incompletion. Hmm. And then
Okay.
people start looking at other places, and then sometimes we start moving inward. Okay, so that is the next level of spirituality. From the external things, dependence or seeking happiness in external things, we hmm, turn inward, and that is the phase 2 of spirituality, where we say, okay, situations outside can change, people can change. Sometimes some good things will happen, some bad things will happen, but can I be happy? So true happiness is the nature of spirit. Mm. So when we start negating, okay, happiness, permanent happiness is not here, not here, not here, then we start moving inward. So
Okay.
whatever people are seeking, they're seeking happiness, and seeking happiness means the beginning of spiritual journey.
Wonderful. So, when you're talking about going inwards, how does that help us in knowing ourselves better? How do we know that point of time that we know that we are on the right path?
Yeah, when you're on the right path, then you will get the strength. Mm. You will get the insights. You will start being more and more happy. You will start being more and more relaxed. Mm. You will start seeing the bigger picture in life, not stuck to small situations and small things. So there are various aspects, and you will know, see when you're driving a car, and suppose from you want to go from Bombay to Delhi. mm, then if you don't have a map, you will follow the road signs, And sometimes you miss out certain road signs and take the wrong route. After some time you will know, no, you have missed something somewhere, something is not proper, and then you correct yourself and come back and go on the right track. So that is how it is, you will know that something is missing, something is not right. Okay. And then see, we have nowadays GPS and we have maps. Earlier on there used to be maps, now GPS is there. Mm. So there are people who know the path. There are teachers who know the path. So it is better you seek from them, whom you feel that they know what they are talking about, and you go to them and take guidance from them. Okay, so
Wow.
you don't have to rediscover the path all by yourself. You can
Yeah.
you can learn from the experiences of everyone. No?
Yeah, I mean, it's wonderfully explained. Actually, it's a wonderful analogy, at some point of time, you know that the path you're on is wrong, so you just change the direction. I mean, it's a great insight. Thank you very much. So, according to you, what is the relation between stress and spirituality?
See, stress is like a dirt on a diamond. Hmm. So because there is some
Okay.
dirt or some garbage on the diamond does not lose its value, no. Hmm. So stress is just
Yeah.
covering the diamond. And when you can remove the stress from our life, and you see that diamond is pure and it is complete and it is radiant. Hmm. So the stresses we feel do not allow us to experience a true nature. Hmm. So that is what stresses do to us. They don't allow us to understand who we are.
Okay. Okay, so I was just going through a survey, okay, of 2018. I happened to read a lot of surveys on spirituality, on the study done on spirituality, and etc. So I just want to ask the relevance of spirituality in today's world. And by that I mean is because the survey that I had read, it was one of the research done by the UK journal that said 95% of the Indian millennials, that is people from the age group of 23 to 35, they admit to being in some sort of stress, and that is more millennials than any other nation in the world. So, what is the relevance of spirituality and how can it form a basis for personal development?
Yeah, see now, there are two students, suppose they are studying in Harvard. Hmm. They got their MBA from Harvard, and one becomes successful and one does not. They got received the same education. They had approximately the same abilities, because you don't just land up in Harvard yourself without any abilities. You have a certain basic level of abilities when you land up in Harvard. And yet, one is very, very successful and one is not. So why one is successful and why the other is not? Hmm, That difference comes from spirituality. Gurudev Shishi Ravi Shankar very beautifully gives an example. Hmm, Spirituality is the root of a tree, and the branches are hmm, your life. So the deeper the roots, the stronger the roots, the more fruit and more green your branches will be,
Wow.
isn't it? So
Yeah.
spirituality is a basic necessity. If the roots are not strong, then how can you nurture the thought of having good fruit in your life? How can you nurture the thought of being successful? The most successful people on the planet, hmm, somewhere or the other, spirituality cannot be defined just by spiritual practices or whatever. They have certain principles which are very, very well founded in spirituality, and that is how they become successful.
Wow. So, what would be the first step? So, you took the example of two students at Harvard, right? So, one has its deep roots in spirituality, and the other does not have such a strong base. How do you improve upon that base?
Yeah, that is what Art of Living has been doing for so many years. We have been teaching these breathing exercises which help us first eliminate stress, When the stresses are eliminated, then we get into the next level of knowing and understanding life. And the more we understand life, the more we understand ourselves, the more we understand our position with respect to everyone around us. Hmm. That helps us build, that becomes the building blocks to building up a successful life, isn't it?
So,
So the first
so
step is, first you need to take a now. If you're not clean and impure, then first step is to take a bath. No, if you're not
yeah,
healthy, the first step is to give a nice bath, detoxify yourself, and then you build up on the strength. You do some exercises. You do, and when you're talking about the physical level, so the same rules apply to spiritual levels also.
yeah. So you've spoken about the art of living and its practices. So how does practicing Kriya help in relieving stress, help in keeping our mind and body healthy? A lot of research papers have been done both uh, nationally and internationally as well, uh, which says the positive effects of Kriya on our mind and body. So how does the whole functioning happen? And what is the science part behind practicing Sudarshan Kriya?
See,
Because
something which is very practical and understandable is, see, every mental pattern we have is connected to a particular breath pattern. When we are
okay.
angry, all of us we breathe in a particular way. Have you observed the breath becomes short? Hmm.
Yeah,
And when we are sad, all of us we breathe in a particular breath. The out breath becomes heavy. That is the breath of sadness. And the most obvious again is to observe, when we are tired, we come back home and we sit on the sofa. What is the breath that comes out as we sit on the sofa? This is the breath of relief. So, in the
yes,
same way, there is a breath of happiness, there is a breath of peace, there is a breath of joy. So, if you can learn to breathe that, then we will get all those things. See, indirectly or knowingly, unknowingly, sportsmen do it. If you have observed a weightlifter, just before lifting his weight, he will breathe in a particular way. It builds that
yes,
focus. Whether it is a divers, somebody is doing a diving drill on the platform, he will also breathe in a particular way. That breathing helps focus the mind. Mm.
wow,
So, so that is what breath does to you. Mm. Breath can help you channelize the mind in a certain direction, which is otherwise impossible. And knowingly, unknowingly, we do it to a little extent. But if we can do it to a large extent, then we can give whatever, whatever happens in our life. The beginning is in the mind only. No, the thoughts
yes,
arise first. From the thoughts, then you ideate and you develop them, and then only it comes to physical action. No. Hmm. So
yes,
without thought, no action is possible. And at the thought level, if you can channel your mind in a particular way, I'm not saying 100% control you can have. Mind is something which cannot be controlled 100%. But if we can have it more and more, hmm, that much more we will be able to do what we want to do in our life.
wonderful, wonderful thought. So, coming to the next question, what is meant by spiritual awakening? Because that is also said to be one of the cornerstones of Sudarshan Kriya. So, could you just throw a little more light on that?
Yeah, spiritual awakening. See, as I told you, everyone is on the spiritual path. A person who's
Yeah,
seeking is happening is a person who's seeking happiness is on the spiritual path. But spiritual awakening, you can say, different people will attribute it to different things. But when you recognize that happiness is independent of the external, and then you start searching and grooming that happiness within you. So that I would call or identify as spiritual awakening. That is the time you start waking up, you start recognizing that situations will come and go. Some bad situations will come, some worse situations will come, some good situations will come, and I cannot be dependent on these situations to be happy. Hmm.
yeah,
Once that happens, then I would say that this is spiritual awakening.
okay. Okay, I mean, talking to you also seems very calm because I'm normally not like this. I'm I speak really on the higher pitch, little more fast paced while talking as well. But talking to you, I myself am feeling that sense of calm. So thank you very much again to make me look at this side of myself. And going ahead, I have a list of questions from the audience, which I have, collated. I've asked my tribe, my folks out there. So can I just ask those questions
Yes, yes,
one by
yes.
one?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the first question is that meditation does not come naturally to me, and it is really difficult because a lot of thoughts come to my mind. How do I go about it?
Yeah, you have to undergo some programs, and it is one of the most easy things to do if you know how to do it. Okay. See, when you go to open a door, sometimes you struggle to open the door. And after some time, suddenly you realize that all your effort is in the wrong direction. And
Hmm.
when you put the effort in the right direction, the door automatically easily opens, isn't it?
Yeah.
So many times it might be just that we are making effort, but it is in the wrong direction.
Okay.
And that is how simple meditation is. Many of us, we don't understand what meditation is. We think meditation is a thoughtless state. We have to control our mind and all that. And that is getting us into trouble. Okay.
Okay.
So that is what, we have thousands of trained meditation teachers, all this, and they will very quickly and easily make you meditate. And you will experience the benefits also very quickly. It's not that
True.
after
True.
some time, after few years, you will know what meditation is or you're benefiting or not. In just a matter of few minutes, you will know that your mind has calmed down.
Okay. I myself started experiencing because I had gone for the Art of Living workshop when I was in college, and it was a program by the college, and we all came to one of your ashrams, and that period, that program was really enriching. It was a great experience for me myself as well, and that was just what, a period of 7 days. So within a period of 7 days, I could see the changes in myself. And I was somebody who never used to meditate, and I always used to look at the science part of it. How is it scientifically proven? And then I started going through research papers and all. And then I started to have that belief, in meditation and its benefits. And so that's my story. So I just deviated a little bit here. Coming back, the second question, could you talk a little about Prajna Yoga, the intuition process for kids? I watched one of the videos, it was amazing. Isn't there something like this for adults?
Yeah, Gurudev has said that he will introduce something like this for adults. So let's hope and wish that it happens as soon as possible.
So, could you talk about the Prajna Yoga exactly? I mean, what does it constitute? The benefits of it?
Yeah, children up till the age of 18, they can develop the ability to have intuition, and different children develop different abilities. There are some who can, with a blindfold on, can read. There are some who can play video games. There are some people who can tell you what might happen in the future, prediction. There are some, who can download languages, lost languages. They will give you the script and the meaning of it, and different abilities. So minimum 15 to 20 different abilities have been identified in children, and different children identify different abilities, or develop different abilities. Mm. And without anything, I remember, there was a I misplaced my iPad. This was about a couple of years ago, and I searched it everywhere mm, in my room. I could not, and then I was forced to contact one of these children. I said, "Let me talk to them and find out." And they said it is, on top of, it is in the middle of a pile of clothes. Mm. Somebody has hidden it with the intention of stealing it. So if you search your pile of clothes, then you will find it. And
Wow.
and I was surprised that within 15 minutes I went through the pile of clothes in my cupboard and I find my on my iPad there. And I was really surprised that I have never, brought the iPad towards the cupboard or whatever. And that
Wow.
child could predict that, somebody has an intention to steal it, and that is why that person has hidden it in the first instance.
Okay, that's wonderful. So how do we keep ourselves motivated and not let the fire in us fade away in our workings and day-to-day life?
Hmm. Yeah,
So that's the
that is what spirituality is all about. You
yeah.
know, in spirituality, in art of living, we talk about an art of living iPod. Hmm. What does that iPod mean? Inner peace and outer dynamism.
Okay.
Usually, people behave the other way. The mind is totally dynamic. They keep on talking about many, many things to be done, but the achievements are not so much. But here, it is the other way around. You are very peaceful, very calm, joyful, and yet you are very dynamic externally. Mm.
Okay.
So we have iPods and iPhones and whatever. iPod is now out of fashion now, but iPod means inner peace,
Yeah.
outer dynamism, and that is the full blossoming of spirituality in a person.
Okay. So you've answered this question, but I would just again ask this because it has been one of the questions that has been asked to put it across to you. So, how to start with meditation because the energy inside tends to get heavier on you while you're trying to concentrate.
Yeah, see, for me, all these questions are irrelevant because,
Yeah,
as I understand, concentration happens as a result of meditation.
meditation. Yeah,
Okay, and meditation is deconcentration. So, when you learn the right technique, you will recognize that the meditation will make you light, not heavy. And if meditation is making you heavy, then you have not learned the right technique.
sure. What is the one thing that all of us should aim for in life and why?
No, everyone can aim for different things. We are all different people. We have different ideas. We have different goals, and we should be free to do what we want to do. Mm. And in whatever goal you want to be, learn to be happy. That's all, isn't it?
Yeah,
So the one
yeah.
goal can be happiness, but using that happiness, we can goal aim for other things in life.
Okay. Swamiji, what is your one-stop solution for relieving stress and living a contented life?
I practice Sudarshan Kriya daily. No,
Yeah, yeah.
I do
Uh,
it daily, and I realize how much calmer and energetic I am over the last 27 years.
wow. Okay. So, one last question that I had is, Swamiji, could you again talk about your programs in prison? How was the experience, and what are the learnings that we can have?
Yeah, it was very interesting teaching. I taught about two or three programs in the prisons, and it was interesting. There is a human being inside, mm, the most fiercest criminal also, and there is a possibility that we can enkindle and rekindle love, compassion, peace, joy in such people also. So if these people can be mm, corrected and brought back to track, then all the other people who are not in prison for sure can be transformed.
Sure.
And your
Yes.
life also can be better that way. Don't think you're beyond redemption.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Swamiji, throughout this period, I think you've given us a lot of analogies, right, from seeking happiness in terms of spirituality and how it can help us in knowing ourselves better to the benefits of Sudarshan Kriya. Any last parting thoughts that you would like to give?
Mm. Be happy and spread joy. That's all.
Thank you so much, Swamiji. It's been wonderful having a conversation with you. And personally, I've also, I'm having that sense of calm while talking to you. And you have a smiling face, and it's very you know it's that is what makes everybody else also smile as well. So it was a wonderful conversation to have with you. And thank you so much, Swamiji. Thank you for accepting the invite and throwing some light on spirituality and spiritual awakening, etc. It's been wonderful talking to you.
Yeah, so it was wonderful talking to you. You asked really interesting questions,
Thank you
and
so much.
hope you grow and you also spread joy and give a
Sure.
sense of direction to so many people on this planet. So wish you all the best, Nimish, and hope we keep on connecting again and again.
Sure, sure. Thank you so much, Swamiji.
Bye bye, all the best.
Bye bye.